The federal government has rejected the European Union's final report on the 2023 general elections, denouncing it as a poorly done desk job. In a statement, the President's Special Advisor, Dele Alake, accuses the EU of bias and unfounded claims. He stresses that the elections, especially the presidential election won by Bola Tinubu of the All Progressives Congress, were credible, peaceful and well organized.
The EU exposition, that is the European Union reporters who came to survey the Nigerian election, the report they gave and the evidence they unleashed against Bola Ahmed Tinubu and those who were involved in rigging the election has caused a heavy blow and heavy fire, including a heavy fight in the camp of the APC. And Tinubu and his team are not happy with their report. If this is your first time of coming across the Future News, do not forget to subscribe. The EU report is causing a very serious havoc in APC camp. Hear the news in details. Unlike before, question before answer, whenever European Union gives you money, I learned that European Union gave Nigeria over 36 or 38 million European pounds, if I'm not mistaken, to help them in the election. But they thought that the money they gave them was for free. They never knew that the European Union would be monitoring the election. But it has caused a serious havoc and serious fight in Tinubu's camp. It is not surprising that Tinubu camp has come out smoking like Joe Frazier with a deluge of criticism of the report of the EU EOM, which obviously doesn't favor official Bat, which is Tinubu. The report, which the EU EOM unmistakably delivered as an uppercut and cross-counter, is instructive. It is reminiscent of legendary Muhammad Ali's two heavyweight fights, Thriller in Manila and Rumble in the Jungle, where he flew like a butterfly and stung like a bee. After a painstaking lobbying effort by the EOM to water down the content of the final report on the outcome of the 2023 election and amend critical areas of the report failed, the Tinubu camp's next approach was to condemn the report in its entirety as frivolous, malicious and biased. How can EU support P2B? Is it possible? Because that is what Tinubu camp is saying, that P2B has bribed European Union that gave Nigeria 39 million UK pounds. That is ranging to almost 2 or 3 billion or thereabout if calculated in Nigerian naira, or even up to 20 billion if calculated in Nigerian naira. And you say that P2B has the money to give European Union. So therefore, this very report is really causing problem in their camp. It is commonplace to hear the shout of bias when a report seeks to review the entire electoral process, give credit where it is due, and knock where it is deserving. The EU EOM report captures the pulse of the people and is a true reflection of the mood of the nation. The argument which seeks a twist logic on its head is, to say the least, unacceptable to Nigerians. The EU EOM did not apply and begs to be allowed to monitor the election in Nigeria. Inec, in its quest to prove to the world its independence, impartiality and transparency, extended the olive branch. Therefore, it beggars reasoning to put into question our sovereignty as a factor that is being undermined. The Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, under Yakubu Maikau, with due respect, appears to be heavily compromised. Their numbers notwithstanding, they are yet to earn the administration respect and confidence of the Nigerian people, more so than the 7-Up jingle. The difference is clear between the EU EOM report and that of the NBA. A shame of a nation. So, the Nigerian went to the Inec chairman and advised Buhari to go to the EU and invite them, because they never invited themselves to come and monitor. Because I've been asking, what is the EU doing in Nigeria in the first place? But seeing from the parallel media, I can see that it is the Nigerian Inec that went to the EU to request that they come, so that you will see that we are transparent enough. But they never knew. They thought that by inviting the EU is going to help them to cover up their lies and their rigging, which didn't work out the way it's supposed. In contrast to the NBA report, which only addressed voting, the EU EOM assistant and assessment reports address registration, nomination, voting, and collations. Our citizens are no fool. They know the truth whenever they see it. The reason the EU EOM report excites the citizenry and is enjoying public confidence and applause is that it reflects the exactitude of the happening during the Bulge 2023 election and their outcome. So you see, the Bola Ahmed Tinubu camp are not really happy the way Nigerians are excited at the outcome of the EU assessment. So this EU assessment is really causing a serious havoc. But whatever they try to do, however they try to cover it, the truth has been unraveled, and Tinubu stand no chance to remain in that seat because his disqualification is coming as fast as possible. To ascribe the toga of free and fair and transparent to an election that was marred by irregularities and manipulation and recorded a casualty figure of 74% is, to say the least, a heresy. Opinion by Umar Sani. So when you begin to see them celebrating and dancing and wangling their tails, it's because they feel that they can, come together and make unnecessary noise on people who have always been wanting the right thing. The EU report had just re-echoed what we have been saying about the 2023 presidential election. The election was rigged. Judiciary should do the needful by sacking the man in Aso Rock. And I must say that the next person that should be arrested is Yakubu Mahmood. If I'm not mistaken, that man needs to go to jail. He needs to stay behind bars for putting Nigerians in this kind of mess, for putting Nigeria in this kind of nightmare. But one may wonder, why is Inec chairman still hovering around and playing the god that he claims that he is? But time will eventually tell, and when that time comes, the truth will definitely be restored. The EU stated that the presidential election has systemic weakness. Chatham House also indicated that the election did not follow electoral guidelines. So, if the election process did not follow electoral guidelines, the same election that was held by Inec, the guidelines that were produced by the constitution from the Inec table, did not follow the electoral guidelines, who made Tinubu the president? Tinubu knows he lost. Inec knows that Tinubu lost. I am really desperate to see how these people intend to defend this very loss they have lost in the court. Inec ran away today. We are waiting for them tomorrow, and we're going to wait for them next tomorrow because they only have 3 days to present their witnesses who can prove to Nigerians that Tinubu truly won the election with loads of evidence standing before them. The level of their bribery did not go far. If somebody gave you money, about 38 million UK pounds, how do you plan to rebribe that person? This time around, the EU has proven to Nigerians that indeed those our thoughts and our fears is truly the truth. But I keep saying it, the venting that Tinubu's camp is doing is just a noisemaker, or is a noise making, because Tinubu has limited time to stay in Aso Rock, and therefore he's going to pressurize Nigerians to recover all that he has spent during the election and even require more and more. Look at the way Nigerian economy is going. Over 10 million has already gone into poverty ratio. They have gone back to poverty and suffering. And yet some people are bent on clapping for them. During the election, some people say that they want to, the reason why they voted for Tinubu is so that after the election they say, yes, we said it. Yes, we said it now, and you are suffering. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long time. Just pray that P2B wins in the court, because if he doesn't win, the renewed shege you are saying is 8 years plus. Thank you for following the Future News. Peace.